Hi, I'm Josh, owner of the Carpet Repair Guys, and today I'm going to show you how to easily repair any damaged area of carpet with stunning, professional, unparalleled results. I want you to be able to repair your carpet with tools and supplies you already have around the house or can get for a few bucks on Amazon. First on your supply list is Gorilla Glue. Now these ones are really nice, the small ones, because they're cheap, you don't need a lot of glue, and they're very exact, so you can put it right where it needs to go. That's important, more on that to come. Second supply that you'll need is Goo Gun. Now this is when you use too much glue on your carpet. If you do it right, you won't even need to open this bottle, but it's always good to have around in case a little excess glue gets on the carpet. The third supply you'll need are donor carpet squares. If you don't have any residual carpet left over from the install, you're gonna need to use the same die lot to go back in your damaged areas. You can find carpet squares at Home Depot and they're for free, so they're great for the budget. For more tips on where to cut the carpet from the closet, please check out the video below in the description. We'll show you all the tricks that you need. For tools, you're gonna need these three. First, a long nail. Now this is nice because you're gonna be able to hold it and guide it on our first step. The next item you're gonna need is a utility knife. Now these babies are razor sharp. That's why they're called razor blades. And third, you're gonna need a pair of sharp scissors. This is gonna be important for trimming the backing and also cutting out tufts as needed. You can purchase all these supplies and tools for 20 bucks on Amazon or from your local hardware store. It can be overwhelming looking at all the tools and supplies you can purchase for these types of repairs. Remember, we're making this easy, so just stick with the items on this video and you'll do fine. Okay, now for the 3 steps. Number 1, trace. Number 2, cut. And number 3, insert. Each are so important, and I'll give you tips and tricks along the way. Number 1, we're gonna learn how to trace. Each of the damaged areas are approximately 3 to 4 inches. If you can isolate and make the repair smaller, the easier and better it will look. In every carpet, it's on a grid. There are rows and columns. So what we want to do is find the row, those are all parallel. And the columns, believe it or not, they're trickier, but you can still trace a line through the columns. Let me show you. So let's start with that row. Let's just kind of poke in. It will find a place and you're gonna get yourself a nice line. That's gonna create a nice trace line for our razor to cut through. It won't be very wide, but it'll be better than just sticking your razor and just starting to cut crudely. Now we need to go into the columns. So this is a little trickier to find, but we're going to slowly and eyeball a line on each side. Moving on to tracing our burn, this is a pattern match carpet, so it's gonna be the trickiest carpet to work with. What we're gonna have to do is count the number of rows, and we're gonna have to remember that sequence when we match in our bonded insert. If you look here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different rows of loops. That's important on these diamond patterns. So we're gonna have to go, let's say, the second loop, and we are gonna try to run our nail through that row on down. So we have our rows here, and in these diamonds we have, it's exactly split down the middle, so we're gonna go right in between those diamonds. Once again, these columns are trickier to cut, but you can carefully separate those rows and columns. Okay, now on to tracing our pet damaged area. On worn carpet like this, it may be tough to find that row. Be patient and just keep going until you feel like you're separating the pile and getting a nice line. Okay, now that first step is so important. You've got to trace those lines, even if it's a little difficult to get through the carpet. That will lead us to the next step, cutting. Now for cutting, we've isolated the damaged areas. We're gonna go in the line that we made and we're gonna follow it back towards us. You're gonna cut through the backing but you don't have to cut so hard where it goes through the padding underlayment. Okay, now that the rows are done, we're gonna go through the column. And let's make the second pass through the column. Okay, let's move on to our burn repair with the second step of cutting. This carpet here, I can lift the knife up and I can see the line as I cut down it. Stop, go, look, stop, go. For burns, the pad wants to stick to the back, so we're gonna have to carefully get that carpet up. Beautiful. All right, now let's cut out the pet damaged area. Okay, now we're almost ready to insert the donor material in place, but one thing you want to be sure that you're right on is the flow, the direction of the pile. Here's a quick, easy test to see if you got the carpet going the right direction. You want to take a piece of paper and a pencil, and you can roll it in any direction, and what you'll notice is the paper will start rolling, as in our case, down. Now we can test our donor material to make sure it's going the right direction. That paper, once again, should be going down. One thing I like to do to help me remember is by marking an arrow in the direction I want the carpet to be going. That way I'm not confused and I can make sure that it's gonna go in the right way. The last part of step 2 is to take your cutout and use it as a template to go over the donor carpet, and you're gonna line it up. It's important that this is an exact cut, but it'd be better to cut it a little larger and nibble away at it as you do several dry tests back into the existing carpet where the damage originally was. Using your thumb, you're gonna lift the pile up, and you want that backing as a guide to cut from. Okay, without getting your direction messed up, this is gonna be our insert for this repair. And let's do a quick test. One thing that I like to do is push the pile all the way up so we don't crush or bury any pile underneath the edge. Do the same thing on each side here. And now let's insert. Okay, so far so good. That looks like a good cut. So that dry fit turned out great. For pattern match loop carpet, we can't just cut a template from the bottom. Those loops will get cut, it won't look good. So using this as our guide and matching up these diamonds, what we're gonna do is separate the rows in two, match a diamond on a diamond, and now it's time to cut. Okay, let's try our dry fit. Okay, once we get the right glues in there, we can blend that in. Okay, so we're gonna use this as a template here to finish out our cut in step 2. Okay, we're lining this up on the carpet. We can always cut a little bit more and then slowly cut it away as we do a few dry fits. Okay, now that we have our donor material cut out from the template, let's do a dry fit. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. Now that we've cut out our template, done a dry fit, make sure everything looks nice and tight, we're ready for step 3. Now we need to use our Gorilla Glue. So for this, I want you to think less is more. Remember, we cut a tight fit, so we just need a little glue around the perimeter of the backing of the carpet in order to hold our carpet in place. Okay, we want to make sure all of this pile is pushed up as tall as we can make it, so it's not going to get in the glue. And now, with our nozzle, we're going to put right at the perimeter. Notice we're not getting up higher to get into the pile of the carpet, just that white thin backing. That is all it needs. You can vacuum, carpet clean, walk on it, and that bonded insert will stay intact. With all the pile pushed up as tall as you can make it, we're gonna pinch the carpet. Remember, we're making sure our arrow is pointing down, running the same direction, and we're gonna put 2 sides, 1 corner in first while holding the other corner up. Now look, this backing wants to push the pile into the glue, so using your nail, pull that carpet up, and what we're gonna do is slowly feed this in place, use that nail and separate, and look at that. We're gonna push right in place. So by pushing on both the existing carpet and the bonded insert, we're gonna make sure that it is nice and flush. Once again, we're gonna stick that corner right into place. Okay, now I'm gonna pinch this, and we're gonna go right slowly, making sure no carpet is getting buried. You can pinch and lift up on the existing side as well and put both in at the same time. Slow and steady wins the race here. Don't rush this part. Okay, so we just finished step 3 of inserting our donor material back in the damaged spot. Don't bother trying to keep pushing into that glue. You want that glue to set up and dry. It's sticky, it'll dry pretty fast, but you may want to give it a couple hours so that it dries and secures well. And watch those bonded inserts blend in with the rest of the carpet, baby. Oh yeah, looking good. If you're able to save your carpet and your deposit, would you let me know in the comments below? I'd love to hear about it. In a day and age where there's a superhero for just about everything, might as well be one for carpet. Why don't you be that superhero and save some carpets and also some money?
It's me, the carpet monster! No one can stop me! I've been damaging carpets ever since they rolled out in the market. From burns, bleach, pet damage. The carpet stores won't repair. They want to charge you more money to replace.
Bum ba bum! Stop right there, carpet monster. Your ways are over. You're not gonna cost these poor people on YouTube any more money or frustration or loss of sleep anymore.